Good evening, everyone. Yesterday was a difficult day for me, which I decided to share on YouTube, perhaps against my better judgment. I just felt like, there was some demons inside me I needed to expel, and so I just wanted to just put it out there and just perhaps maybe it was a bit of a catharsis for me just to share it after I had dumped it on to my camera. I mean, one thing this cancer has shown me so far is that it intends to bring out both the worst and the best of me. And yesterday it brought out the worst of me. And I'm not gonna go all crazy religious on you here, but it does remind me of a parable I learned as a child when Jesus was fully aware of what his fate had in store for him, the suffering that awaited him at the crucifixion, and he went off into the desert to be alone. And it wasn't until he was in the desert a little while, he started to get hungry and thirsty, that Satan started whispering to him. And yesterday I was definitely hungry and thirsty, and my demons started calling to me, and I gave in to them for a little while. And today's a new day. I mean, the one thing I have going for me is the old thing I learned in kickboxing that we used to practice. Fall down 7, stand up 8. You get knocked over 7 times, you got to be willing to stand up 8 times. So today I stood up again, and I had a lot booked today because I'm starting a year of chemo. So the sleep apnea clinic finally, after 2 years, called me back. They agreed to bring me in on an urgent basis to do a sleep test because one of the effects of a craniotomy could be central sleep apnea. So we just want to make sure that's ruled out. So I'll be glad to go get another sleep apnea follow-up. And if I don't have central sleep apnea, which I don't think I do, then we'll find out if I need sleep apnea therapy anymore, if I need my CPAP. I'll just know once and for all. I suspect I don't. I mean, I actually slept really good last night. I slept one of the longest sleeps I've had in a long time, so maybe it was good just to dump all that out. Maybe I just needed that cleanse. And, there's a lot to be said about just bearing your soul. As long as you don't wallow in it too long. I think it's okay to have a day. I think it's okay to give yourself a day to wallow in it. So anyway, the sleep apnea doctor called me this morning. I had to get on a virtual call with him. He's going to get me and explain everything that's going on. He's fully supportive to help me any way he can, which was a nice way to start the day. And then I walked to my optometrist's office because I can tell my prescriptions changed, especially when I'm trying to do stuff at work. It's actually been rather difficult trying to get the text at a decent size where I can read it comfortably. And that's part of why I get so tired when I'm working at my computer. So I found out that my prescription for reading has changed a fair bit, but she said not an unusual amount. It's probably just because you're 2 years older than the last time you came. And my peripheral vision is just fine, so I'm hoping after my radiation therapy I can go back to driving my truck, which I'm not allowed to do right now because all my vision at the sides and the top, it's all just fine. So that's good. And she couldn't pick up any abnormalities in my vision or blind spots or anything like that that could indicate a problem between my brain and optic nerve. And they took pictures of my optic nerve and it all looked good. Wasn't swollen or anything. So that was more good news to start the day. And it was a nice walk to go. A nice crisp, chilly walk. The snow started today. I got a new coat last night to be ready for the snow, and right on time I get the new coat and the snow shows up and it's chilly out. So, and then tonight my wife went out to dinner with her family, so she had her drop me off at the church, and I walked back from church just now. It was a good 2-mile walk that I enjoyed greatly. So after I had my vision checked, I went to the dentist because I won't be allowed to visit the dentist for a year. So I thought we better see if there's any cavities brewing and nail them now. And I actually had a perfect checkup, one of the few perfect checkups in my life. So that's a win for the keto diet right there. The one thing the keto diet for sure is good for is your dental health. I mean, barely any plaque, took barely any work to get me cleaned right up. And I mean, I do have a few trouble spots because my wisdom teeth were never taken out. They came in when I was younger and they shattered the teeth in front, and that was never addressed. So he gave me some tips to look after that area that needs a little bit of help. But he said everything's doing good. He gave me some tips for dealing with the radiation if it causes my saliva to dry up, which it can, and some people it can cause your saliva glands to stop producing for a while. So he gave me tips to deal with that. It was a really helpful visit. So I want to thank my dentist. I think they subscribe to the channel, so thanks guys. I'm really pleased with you. And if anyone needs a great dentist in Burlington, send me an email and I'll refer you over to them, because this team is great. They really, I mean, the guy's got such a good touch. I mean, minimal amount of pain for any procedure I've ever had. This is a guy, and just very pleasant people to deal with in general. So I can't praise my dentist well enough. So I mean, here we are, one really bad day, one really productive day. Tomorrow I want to cap it off with yet another productive day. Try to get something done at work, because I've had to not be at work. I've had all these appointments. I found out my radiation therapy starts December 8th, and that's when I'll be taking my first chemotherapy as well. They'll be simultaneous. I've talked to a couple of people who have been on the temozolomide and done radiation, and the opinion seems to be it's quite tolerable. It sucks at first, but it's quite tolerable. And the tips are just make sure you get out and get some movement, which I'm doing lots of. I think I've already done 15 or 16 miles of walking this week so far. So guys, when you're feeling really low, just remember you saw me really low. If you're not that low, then you can come back from it. Fall down 7 times, stand up 8 times, and just keep fighting. I mean, what demons have you been struggling with that sometimes you let overwhelm you? And just because they get the best of you sometimes doesn't mean you just can't come out and start a new day tomorrow with a fresh new attitude. Try to just get a good night's sleep. And I mean, when they have the best of you, it's okay to admit it. And I mean, I have a little fallback plan now for when that happens. You know, I say my prayers, and I know what I ask for of God. Whatever your fallback plan is, maybe it's just a warm bath, or maybe it's a really great tea that you like and a good night's sleep, or maybe you just put on an old science fiction movie in your collection that you really enjoy watching over and over again. Whatever your plan B is, I mean, just have it ready for those tough spots, because I mean, for sure I've got tough spots ahead. For sure I do. And you know, it's okay to have those, it's okay to feel them, but what is not okay is to let it run your entire life. You need a plan to get out of the rut. Everyone's going to step into a rut. I've certainly stepped in many a rut in my life. You need a plan to get out, and you just need to get out. And tomorrow's a new day. That's the beautiful thing about life. One of the most beautiful things about life is you go to sleep and the world goes quiet for a little while, and then you're born again into a new day. It's a fresh start every single day. Your circumstances might not have changed, but there's a new you there waiting to deal with it. Life is probably 90% how you react to it, and 10% what happens to you. Just remember that. And if you fall down 7 times, stand up 8 times. Be the most stubborn dog in the fight. It's not the toughest dog in the fight that wins. It's the most stubborn dog in the fight that wins. Be that dog. Okay, everyone, I just wanted to give this update so you all know I'm doing a little better today. Thank you for all your commiserating I got yesterday and your prayers. Much appreciated. This is your friend, Big Northern Bear, out.